Good day, Professor Mel and classmates. I will be presenting the part two of the CSR Critique project focusing on framework on CSR communication. Several researchers have presented many frameworks of evaluation of CSR communication. This presentation will cover a synthesis of my understanding based on the reviews of different evaluation frameworks, particularly on CSR content framework by Carol, the elements of CSR communication by Kim and Ferguson, and the approaches and data collection by Dale and Bennett. The content of CSR communication should be evaluated based on the Carroll CSR pyramid, which should contain the economic, legal, ethical, and philanthropic responsibilities. Firstly, on economic aspect. Organizations need to sustain its business by being profitable. Companies has responsibilities to incentivize its owners. They have to ensure that they have enough resources to continue its business operation. Second, the legal aspect. Does the company abide with laws? At the minimum, companies should abide by laws and regulation by implementing fair business practices. Third, the ethical aspect. Companies need to ensure ethical activities, norms, standards, and practices, even if such are not regulated into law. This may include respecting new or evolving ethical and moral norms adopted by the society. Business integrity and ethical behavior should go beyond legal compliance that are morally and ethically accepted by the customers. The fourth and last aspect is the philanthropic or discretionary responsibilities. The guiding principle is that companies should participate in social activities even if they are not mandated by law or not generally expected of a business. Questions such as, does the company have discretionary actions, is one of the questions that can address this philanthropic aspect. From this framework, Gatterman in 2023 argues that the assessment should consider organizational capacity, such as available resources, products, and services, as well as legal and other environmental or external environment. CSR communication can influence stakeholder acceptance or inversely skepticism. Therefore, in evaluating CSR communication framework, the following aspects or dimensions should be considered. Informativeness is the first. Is the company socially responsible? Or can people accept the intangible characteristics of the company, which entails some personal relevance, which is the second dimension? Or does the company convey the message of self serving, such as congratulatory tone, or not, which is the third dimension or self promotional message tone? Or is the company have a uniform messaging and communication is done in the appropriate time? This refers to the consistency and frequency which aspect of the CSR communication. The fifth one is third party endorsement. Can third party increase the company credibility and reduce public skepticism? Sixth is self efficacy. Will the people belief result into an intended behavior? And lastly, the last dimension is on transparency. Is the company open to disclose both the good and the bad aspects happening in the company? So, based on these dimensions, the impact, for example, relevance, effectiveness, efficiency, sustainability, and replicability will be assessed. Now, let's move on to the types of evaluation. This can be in four types. So if we're looking at evaluation of the current state, then we need to have the baseline evaluation. If it's ongoing evaluation, then we would do the formative evaluation. If it assess the program results or impact, then we should do summative evaluation. And for evaluation of long-term benefits, we should have the follow-up evaluation. In terms of the designs of CSR communication evaluation, there could be two approaches. So, one is the assessment of the program or CSR communication before, and then comparing that with the after the program or pre and post program evaluation. The second design is about program evaluation on a negative control and positive control, meaning the evaluation of a set of stakeholder based on having or not having the program. Now let's look at the data collection methods that can be implemented. There are two suggested methods. So the first one is the conventional, and then the second one is participatory method. For conventional method, these are the quantitative or qualitative or a mix of both, which called the mixed method. The other data collection is the participatory methods, which may include participatory rural appraisal or PRA, such as meetings, informal or facilitated group discussions. The other method on participatory model or method is the participatory learning method or PLM. And the last one is the participatory assessment monitoring and evaluation or PAME. Now let's look at the possible approach as well in terms of evaluating the CSR communication. So Bennett presented a hierarchical approach on assessing CSR communication or extension activities as its original paper. The first approach is to look at the bottom is to understand the inputs or resources that are available for CSR communication. The second one is the activities that will be done in terms of CSR communication. The third is the stakeholder mapping or involvement of different people. So it could be the company who like employees or top management or the intended stakeholders like external or the public. And then the fourth will look into the evaluation of the reactions of the different stakeholders based on different communication methods or approaches. And then the fifth one is the evaluation of the changes in terms of the knowledge, attitudes, skills, and also aspirations, or KASA. And then the sixth would be the evaluation of the possible changes of such CSR communication. And then lastly, the evaluation of the impact or the end result. It be either be direct or indirect, or it could be short term or long term results. I hope that I have shared with you and provided some context of the framework of evaluating CSR communication. And if you need more information from the references, these are listed on this presentation. Again, thank you so much for your attention, and I will be sharing the third aspect in the other video, which is on the actual evaluation of the CSR communication of the company that I selected, which is Bayer. Have a good day.